Details of what camp actually consists of, but for the most part, I'm more invested in the why. So for me personally, I went to camp in 2013, and it was one of the top 3 experiences of my college career. So like Turner said previously, that's why I'm here tonight, to talk to you guys, that I feel like it would be selfish for me to have this great experience and to just sit on it and then just turn my head. So I love to invest in young men and women that are in college, of what it's like to be a college athlete and taking biblical principles and how does that apply to my faith and combine them. So a little thing, I did it, so like I said, I went to the University of Minnesota. I graduated 2 years ago, and one of the things we did, we'll do it here tonight because there are a couple UTC alums, is I was in a room, there was about 100 of us, and I said, so if this pertains to you, please stand up. So if you've been to UTC in the past, please stand up. So I did this in Minnesota. There was about 40 people in the room standing up that have been to UTC from Minneapolis. So the people sitting, look at the people standing. You see them? People standing, look at the people sitting. And the question that I asked them was, if UTC was one of the top 3 experiences in your college career, please stay standing. How many people sat down here tonight? Look behind you, there's still someone standing. He's still standing! 0. How many people at Minnesota, when we did that same question, how many people sat down? Do we have any guesses out there? 0. So in that same way, I've been on both sides of it. You guys can sit. Thank you. I've been on both sides of it where I see this video, and when I hear this Christian camp, I think it's going to be sitting in a circle, singing Kumbaya, holding hands, and throwing pine cones in the middle, is what I normally thought what this camp was going to be about. But you guys have seen a little bit of the video. You've heard from some of these people that said it was one of their top 3 experiences in their college career. So that's my heart behind why I want you guys to go. So there's a couple things that I want to cover too. So that's my heart behind it. You've heard it from these guys. Could you guys just, I didn't even prepare you guys for this, but could you guys just give a 2-second statement? I mean, you're going back to intern, right? Christensen? So what was your experience like last year that makes you come back to intern this year? Just like a 2 sentences or 30 seconds.
Yeah, so just like the atmosphere, everyone was obviously extremely competitive, but it was all for the glory of God, and that was an experience or like an atmosphere I'd never been in completely before. And it just like, it's weird to say this, it might sound whatever, but I could literally feel the presence of God there, and it was like very moving spiritually for me, and so I'm excited to get back in that atmosphere, and then also to help provide it for others.
Cool. Jens, you got anything to add to that?
Just something like our sport, it's always, just dominate, just always on you, and it was great to get the perspective of being free, being able to compete, and just being able to be free, knowing that, I'm going to lose, he's still going to love you the same, and that was big for me.
For sure. And I mean, we feel that pressure in our sports all the time. So, I would say a couple things that I want to talk to you guys about is a couple questions that I get, because I talked to a couple people. So last night I was at the University of Iowa, and they had 16 people sign up to go to camp. And one of the questions that I get a lot of the time is, I got an internship this summer. I'm a senior. I'm not an athlete anymore. So we've had non-athletes come here before. We've had seniors that come. The only reason why I would encourage them to come, even if they're a senior or even if they're injured, is we're looking at biblical principles and how they apply to sport, but we're all going to be done with sport at one time or another, correct? So it's just easy for us to metabolize it when we do sports, because we've been wrestling, or we've been running, or we've been swimming, or playing tennis, or whatever sports you guys do for your whole life, correct? So it's just easy for us to think about it, taking these biblical principles and how it applies. So it's just really easy. What were some of the other things I said? Oh, internships, another one. I got an internship this summer. So another thing is, I have a lot of guy friends and girlfriends that are old and going into the business world trying to get an internship. And one of the things that they've done is they say, hey, can I start my internship on June 5th instead of June 1st? And 100% of the time when they've asked that question, they've said, yes, that works. And what was the third thing I said? You got the third thing? Were you listening? Anyone? Any other questions? Seniors, yeah. So the seniors in like the competition too. So we've had managers that have came to camp. We've had, when I went to camp, there was a 28-year-old Michigan State tennis head coach that came to camp. There was a couple of Olympians that came back to camp. So it's in Minneapolis, May 29th through June 4th at St. Thomas. So everything provided, the food, the stay, you stay there. We're trying to get 150 athletes to go. So right now we currently have about 16 at Iowa. We got about 35 at Minnesota. And we have how many Badgers signed up? Does anyone know? We got two that just signed up. It was Gabby and Mariah. So they're going to be our snowball effect. And we're going to talk a little bit about the funding of it. But I just want to ask you guys, is there any questions that you guys would have more about camp? So you've heard it from me. There's a top 3 experience. We had a couple people stand up, some people that have some relationships with you guys that other people don't have. But like I said, I'm not trying to sell you guys on anything. It's not like I go home and if 15 Badgers sign up, then I can go collect a fat check. So like I'm in here because I want to invest in you guys. And usually what's going to happen is I come off as pushy or peer pressuring you, but what I promise you that will happen is while you're at camp, you'll come up to me. Does anyone remember my name? What was my name? Cory. Okay, you'll come up to me and say, Cory, thanks for like pushing me to come to camp. It's usually what happens. So I will make a promise with you. No one else makes this promise, not these guys, but this applies to me. That if you come to camp and you, what was your name? Chase, okay. If you come to Camp Chase and you're like, hey, Cory, I don't think that this was worth my time or my money, like I just didn't really like this, I will personally reimburse you the $695 and you can do whatever you want with it. So what's one of your hobbies? Running? You can buy a lot of running shoes and you can do whatever you want. So like that's my heart behind it, that I don't just want to stand up here and just say, like, oh yeah, you guys should go, but I personally believe in the way that God has used the camp in my life that I want to have some skin in the game for some of you guys to go. So, do I have any questions before we talk about some other things about the camp and the down payment and stuff like that? Any other questions? Anything? So, one of the things is what we would need from a commitment from you guys tonight is a $95 deposit. The total camp is $695, which covers your food, your stay in the camp, and it's in Minneapolis. Some of the best facilities that I've been to for the food, the campus at St. Thomas is beautiful, and like I said previously, it's awesome. And there's not like a, this doesn't exist, but in my brain I can think about it of like, man, what kind of level of a Christian do you have to be to go to this camp? There's people that go there that are new believers. There's people that have been a believer since they grew up in a Christian home. There's people that don't even know yet, and they're just kicking around Christianity. So it's a safe place where you guys aren't going to be up in front leading a Bible study or doing all this stuff. That it's a great place for you to check it out. So that's one of the things. And then the other thing is the letter writing party that you guys will do. We really don't want finances to be an issue. I realize you guys are athletes and that you guys have to work at your sport, which doesn't allow you to work and make some money. So one of the things that we want to do for you guys is we do this thing called the letter writing party. And what the letter writing party consists of is you show up with 25 names and addresses of people that you could send the letter to. And what the letter says, it says, Dear, and you would say, Sydney. And then it explains what camp is, and you write a little personal message at the bottom that says, thanks for considering to invest in my life. And then you lick it, stamp it, send it out. And if you send out 25 letters, Wisconsin team has committed to, if you send out 25 letters and don't raise enough support, then they will cover the cost for you guys to go to camp. So how sweet of the Wisconsin team to have some skin in the game, that if you guys are serious about this, we don't want finances to be an issue. Tyler has some sheets for you guys to even think, like, who could I send this letter to? And there's people out there that would love to invest in you guys. So those are a couple things. Do we have any other questions that I got from you guys? None? Okay. So what I need from you guys is, if you're considering to go tonight, a $95 deposit. If that's a problem, I would love to talk more details with you about that. And like I said, we don't want finances to be something that could prevent you guys to coming to camp. So, one of the other things that I try to promise people, Tyler told me not to say this, but I'm going to. He didn't tell me not to say it. But if you guys are still competing in your sport, so some of you guys might be competing in your sport. Let's just say wrestling. I was talking to Jens about this a little bit. He's competing in this tournament. If he wins the tournament, it probably won't allow him to go. And I said, Jens, if you win the tournament, if you sign up tonight and if you win the tournament, then I will personally reimburse you the $95. At least give yourself an option to go to camp. That if you have a legitimate reason with competition, because I don't want you guys to be like, I'm just going to go to this camp and not try my sport. I want you guys to try to win in your competition and to possibly, if nationals is an option for some of you guys, so that can be another barrier. So, one last thing that Wisconsin is doing also is, if you guys sign up tonight, there's been 2 people so far. If you sign up tonight, you come to the letter writing party, and you write them a letter, they're in for at least $100 towards your camp. So you're in for 95, they're in for 100. If you write 25 letters and don't raise enough support, they're like serious. They're not just saying like, hey, you should go to this camp and figure it out. That they want to help you guys get to camp. If X amount of people, so if we have 10 people sign up tonight, do you know how many people we have so far? 2. If we have over 10, they're in for $150 for you guys to go to camp. If we get 15 people to sign up tonight, everyone who signs up tonight, their name will go into, what was your name? Eli? They'll go into Eli's hat, and I'm going to draw out a name, and then we're going to do a drawing for a half scholarship. If 20 people sign up tonight, we'll do a drawing for a half scholarship and a full scholarship. And this is a deal that I'm making with you guys tonight, that I'm coming here. So I don't know what you need to decide, but if you're going to sign up for camp, why not sign up tonight when you have a chance to have a half scholarship or a full scholarship or $100 or $150 towards your scholarship. Does that make sense? And the last thing that I would say is, I want to be sensitive in this area, but I've also heard it a lot and feel like it is kind of an excuse. I got to talk to my parents, which there's people that need to talk to their parents, and I want to respect that. But let's take this out of context that you're going to this Christian camp. Eli, name like 3 of your buddies.
Vader, Reinhardt, Jens.
Okay, so they're like, hey Eli, we're going to go to Chicago let's go to Chicago and let's go have some fun for a week. Would you tell me, hey, I got to talk to my parents? Would you tell me that, Eli? You wouldn't tell me that. So I understand, I want to be sensitive to the subject, but also it's a hard one for me to argue because I don't know your guys' family situation, so I want to be sensitive to it. And I'm like, be real, bro. Like, if we were talking about something else, about going to Chicago and having fun, and I asked you that same question, like, what are you doing the 29th to the 4th? You'd be like, I got to talk to my mom. We might be, doing something. Does that make sense? Do I have any questions from you guys? So I told myself that I wasn't going to leave until 15 people signed up. I'm serious. I'm 100% serious. And so far, there has been 2 people. And I know as I stand up here today, you guys might think that I'm a little bit pushy, and you might think that I have little man syndrome, or you might think, like, what's wrong with this guy? But really, I feel like it is for your guys' good, that you guys will come to camp, and I'll be there, and you'll say, hey bro, thanks for, pushing me a little bit to sign up. Because that's been my experience. The same way I signed up, I was sitting in seats similar to you guys, like, man, this guy needs to go, chill, go back to Minneapolis. And all of a sudden I came to camp, and 3 days in, I went and talked to my buddy. I said, bro, thanks so much for encouraging me to come to camp. And you got guys like Christensen who's coming back and he's interning and wants to be more involved. So You got anything for me before we start signing people up or answer any questions?